So when the first trailer came out for Netflix's Avatar The Last Airbender, the vibe around it was positive. Most fans were cautiously optimistic, and generally there was more positivity in the Avatar fan base until some interviews came out with the actors saying that Sokka's sexism will be removed. Some people working on the show also stated that they wanted this Avatar The Last Airbender to appeal to Game of Thrones fans, and also Aang won't have as many detours as in the animation. And this interviews with the people working on the Avatar show sparked some negativity on Twitter, online. People started getting worried about the adaptation, and the vibe soured around Netflix's Avatar The Last Airbender. But as the trailers and as more stuff started coming out, the behind the scenes look and similar stuff started coming out, I'm starting to have hope regarding this adaptation. To be honest with you, I don't think this adaptation is going to be bad, because this is not my first rodeo. I'm a huge One Piece fan, so I was following the whole drama up to its release. It was sort of similar to this Avatar adaptation coming out. Most people were worried, and there was some negativity when the One Piece live action was about to come out, and I'm seeing the same stuff unfolding with Avatar The Last Airbender. But I think Netflix's Avatar Last Airbender is going to be a better adaptation than One Piece's Netflix adaptation, because I feel like Avatar The Last Airbender is a way more easier show to adapt than One Piece, and because One Piece is more fantastical. I know Avatar is also fantastical, but One Piece is very exaggerated, very much more cartoony than Avatar The Last Airbender, and they pulled off One Piece. One Piece is one of the best anime live actions out there, and I don't see why they can't replicate that with something that is easier to adapt like Avatar The Last Airbender, and it has a higher budget than One Piece's live action. In fact, this Avatar The Last Airbender adaptation is Netflix's second most expensive show, only behind Stranger Things season 4. So special effects wise, I'm not worried. Some people have some gripes with their costumes, with their clothes. I've heard some people say their clothes looks too clean, Aang's costume looks too clean, and I don't think that's a huge problem, to be honest with you. The same thing happened with One Piece's live action, and it didn't affect the immersion that most people had watching One Piece, and so here as well I don't think that's a huge problem. And I believe that the only thing that can mess this show is if this show is not faithful to the source material, if they mess with the story too much and add their own things, then that's the only way I see this show not working. Otherwise, I'm positive about this show. I think the show is going to be good. Stuff like them canceling out some of the side stories, the detours that Team Avatar take, I don't know why they did that, because this adaptation has a longer runtime than the animation season 1, so it's something they could have fitted if they wanted to, but they said they want to go for something darker like Game of Thrones. They said that they want to appeal to Game of Thrones and stuff, so they wanted to go darker, and some of the side stories in Avatar The Last Airbender are very light-hearted, so that may be the reason. And if that's the reason, then I'm going to be very disappointed, because that's what makes Avatar The Last Airbender. It's part of it. So if they ruin some of the amazing writing in this show just to appeal to Game of Thrones fans, then I'm going to be very sad, man. I'm very going to be disappointed, but I don't think that will happen, because from the stuff Netflix released, such as the behind the scenes look and stuff, the actors, they look like the human equivalent of the characters in the cartoon. So they look perfect, they sound perfect. Sokka's actor looks like Sokka's human equivalent. There is humor from the behind the scenes look, and from the trailers there is some humor, like good humor, and it feels like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and the effects look good. So to be honest, I think this show is going to be good, and also Netflix got it right with One Piece live action, so I don't see why they cannot get it right with Avatar: The Last Airbender, a show I believe is much easier to adopt on One Piece. Yeah, I'm really positive about this adaptation. I feel like it can only go wrong if they stray away too much from the source material. I know it's a live action, I know that they can't do one-to-ones. When doing a live action, you have to make the changes that are necessary because it's going to be a live action, but you have to stay true to the spirit of the show, and I hope they get that right. And as long as they do that right, then we've got something good. We're going to get something good on our hands, and yeah, I think this show is going to be good. And yeah, that's all I have to say. And if you've made it this far, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. It will mean a lot. And with that said, see you in the next one.